As we approach Tuesday's general election, one of the most closely watched local races is the Freeborn County Sheriff's race. It is a race that has now divided that department. Good evening and thanks for choosing ABC6. I'm James Wilcox.
And I'm Laura Lee. Sheriff Bob Kindler is looking at another term, but some of his employees say he's not the man for the job. And in ABC6 News Investigation, we take a closer look at this department and learn what's behind the divide.
So be a little bit more effective, a little bit more efficient in how we deliver our services.
That was November of 2010 when Sheriff Bob Kindler was voted into office, promising change within the department.
Law enforcement dispatch.
Emergency management has greatly improved under my leadership.
And that was Sheriff Kindler just last week. But some of his employees disagree that the department is in a better place than 4 years ago.
Our morale in our department has rock bottoms. Our department becomes so dysfunctional, so disorganized.
We don't know him, he doesn't know us, and that's just the way it is.
And as of late, the only communication has been in the form of debates.
You need to investigate the incident.
We need to get rid of the division that exists.
This is the way that people unseat incumbents, is to create controversy, to create confusion, and to try and make me look bad.
Sheriff Bob Kindler is talking about two of his deputies vying for his job, Deputy Dale Glazier and Deputy Kurt Freitag. Glazier lost during the primaries and believes controversy surrounding his name may have hurt his chances.
Because I know a lot of people talked about it, asked about it.
Referring to when he was placed on paid administrative leave the same day he filed to run for sheriff. The Rochester Police Department investigated the case and found no wrongdoing and recommended he return to work.
It was a waste of taxpayers' money to pay me to sit home.
Glazier was out for about 8 weeks. If we do the math, Glazier makes about $29.92 an hour. You multiply that by 40 hours a week, he brings home nearly $1,200. Times that by the 8 weeks he was out, and it's nearly $10,000 in tax dollars.
How is that not a waste of our taxpayer dollars?
That's the purpose of doing the investigation, is to exonerate the deputy if they have not done anything wrong, or if there has been a criminal violation. The criminal violation has to be dealt with.
You're saying that obviously this is not political on your part, correct?
Correct.
How do you respond to the fact that your current candidate for sheriff, Kurt Freitag, is internally being investigated right now?
It's not the sheriff's office. It's not the sheriff. It's the actions of the individual deputies. Deputy Freitag, Deputy Glazier, they were involved in those incidents.
My opponent is not a victim in this, by me or Deputy Glazier. I've been on the reactionary side trying to deal with these accusations.
The actions of Deputy Kurt Freitag were investigated by the Elbert Lea Police Department. The police report indicates the incident involved a dispute over a campaign sign. However, the investigation found no criminal conduct by Deputy Freitag. Case closed. But the sheriff's office launched its own internal affairs investigation for policy violations.
One thing that I said that I was going to do when I became sheriff is hold people accountable. We are all paid professionals. We need to do a professional job. And if somebody isn't doing their job, I believe by the elected status that I have, I need to hold them accountable.
And let me ask you this, who holds you accountable, Sheriff?
I'm held accountable by the voters. Our careers are on the line here. We don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to take anybody's job away from them.
We spoke with the personnel director of Freeborn County, John Cleaver. Every personnel case that is filed in the county comes through his office.
I understand there's conflict. In terms of due diligence, we have to follow through pretty completely with all our cases.
If he were to put he felt someone needed to be placed on paid leave, he has the authority to do that, correct?
As an elected official, they do have that type of authority.
But according to attorneys who represent the Freeborn County's Deputies Union, they say Freeborn County is using more resources and more money than necessary on personnel issues for a county of its size. You decide for yourself. Over the past 4 to 5 years, both Mower and Olmsted counties have placed 1 deputy each on paid leave, while Freeborn County has placed 2 deputies on paid leave. One of those cases from 2011 involved former Deputy Corey Ferris. He was placed on paid administrative leave for policy violations, but again, there were no criminal charges. Even so, Ferris eventually resigned. Ferris declined to go on camera due to his current job, but tells ABC6 News it was, quote, a terrible work environment, and to be falsely accused constantly made my job difficult. It's a feeling shared by Deputy Glazier and Freitag.
The deputies are afraid to go out and do their job in fear that they'll be next.
What do you say to the people that might think this is just a political move on your part?
What he's doing is very wrong, very unprofessional, unethical.
I have done nothing wrong. I will not do anything wrong. I will not jeopardize the office of the sheriff. I will not jeopardize the citizens of Freeborn County. We will do it.
Sheriff Kindler says he follows a strict code of conduct as laid out by the Minnesota Peace Officers Training Board. He says if anyone would like to make a complaint against him, or any sheriff for that matter, they can by filing a complaint to them or with the Secretary of State. Of course, stay with ABC6 News as we'll be following this race very closely on Election Day.